Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rochelle Ward. I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Connecticut, and my passion is helping people to move to the next chapter. Today, I'm going to share with you a deeply personal story about my friend of over 40 years and her husband when they decided to make a life change, sell their house that they had lived in for over 30 years and relocating to Florida. There's a ton of emotion and a lot of feelings, but what I wanted to share is how I helped my friend even though I wasn't her realtor. When my friend texted me that they were ready to move, it was really bittersweet for me. We've been friends for over 40 years, and although I moved out of the area over 20 years ago, was still relatively close and I could visit. They decided that they were selling the home that they lived in for over 3 decades and moving to Florida. In case you didn't know, Florida is a lot further away from New York than Connecticut is. I was visiting down on Long Island and my girlfriend and I got together for lunch. And while we were having lunch, we were talking about how they were going to move from Long Island down to Florida. My girlfriend shared that she and her husband thought that they would use one of those companies that purchases the home directly from the seller and does not involve a realtor. She said that she really didn't know what the value of the house was. So, being her friend and the realtor that I am, I pulled up an automated valuation system and I showed her what the value of her house was. And to be honest, she was kind of shocked. I then shared with my girlfriend that the company that they would call in to purchase her home from them is more than likely going to flip the house. And she said she didn't care about that. I then shared with my girlfriend that in order for them to make a profit on the flip of her house, that they needed to buy it at below fair market value, which is less than the valuation I had just showed her. This was their nest egg. And from the proceeds of the sale of their house, they're going to buy their new home down in Florida for cash. And if they use this company, they would have a lot less money in their nest egg and a lot less money to purchase their new home in cash. During that conversation, I shared with my girlfriend the name of a local realtor to her area that I had referred other friends to over the years. I showed her a video that he had posted of another friend's house that he had recently sold. She told me she would talk to her husband, and I let it go at that. My girlfriend went through a health issue and some time went by, and I received a text from her one day. We listed the house for sale and we're using the agent you recommended and we're so excited and I can hardly wait to move and we're going to Florida. And I was really happy for them. I was so happy that they had finally put into motion the plan that they came up with. So now that my friend's house was listed for sale, she asked me to find an agent for them in Florida where they were moving to. She said the fella that I had recommended on Long Island was the best and she knew I would find them a great agent in Florida. So I tapped into the National Real Estate Network to find them a trusted agent to help them find the home of their dreams so they could move on to the next chapter in their lives together. Through it all, I remained a friend first and a resource second. Selling a home that you've lived in for 30 years carries a lot of emotion with it, and I wanted my friend and her husband to know that I was there to support them. Sometimes that was just lending an ear to what they had to say, and other times it was a cheerleader and telling them how excited I was for them, which I truly was. In the end, everything came together beautifully. They sold their house on Long Island quickly. They found the perfect place in Florida to start the next chapter of their lives together. Knowing that I played a small part in helping them transition from one place to another reminds me of why I love what I do.